What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Eric Go, otherwise known as Oh No, It's Eric Go, coming at you with another video on a very hot and sweaty Manila day. We are actually here in my part of town, Bonifacio Global City, and I just wanted to catalog what a day in the lockdown is like. So as you guys know, we've been in lockdown for about 3 weeks now. My hair looks like Jimmy Neutron because it is super long, and everything basically in town is closed other than a couple of grocery stores. Restaurants are open for takeout, and of course the convenience stores are open. And I'm gonna show you guys what the city looks like during this lockdown. Normally these streets are super full and super packed, but during the lockdown there's only a couple of cars, of course a lot of motorbikes, like this one delivering Grab food. And it's so desolate that they didn't even bother to fix the traffic light. So that means I can just cross whenever I want to, I guess. Yeah, so let's go do that. So most of BGC is actually offices, and residential wise or living wise, it's high-rise condominiums like that one over there. But there aren't actually any houses and lots in BGC. So there aren't that many people in the city, other than people like me who actually live here, or people that have a second place and decided to hunker down in BGC. But otherwise, this is what it looks like. Normally these parking garages and housing complexes are teeming with people, and the sidewalks are loaded with either students or people who work here, since it's about 5 p.m. today, and that's when some, but not all of the offices get out. And that's also when the construction workers get out. And so here in Manila, there's a stop work order, so these two unfinished buildings will remain unfinished for quite some time. But usually around this time, hundreds and hundreds of construction workers will come out, finish their day, and go back home. It's kind of spooky, actually. It's almost like a ghost town. There's not much going on. And again, in terms of businesses, only those that are essential are permitted to actually do what they have to do. So that water refill guy is doing what he has to do. And all the cars that you see on the roads right now are private cars. So there's no Grab. Obviously the Philippines doesn't have any Uber, but you can't use Grab, you can't book a car. There's no taxi cabs whatsoever. So the only way to get around is to walk, like I am, or have a car. But you can't really buy one right now because everything's closed. But here's our lovely skyline here in BGC. Sad to say, normally there's a bunch of people walking their dogs or just stretching and exercising in the park, but obviously today that's not going to happen. And this park has been closed for about 3 weeks now, which kind of sucks. Normally you can't cross the road when it's red like that, but as you can see, there's barely any cars. All the car dealerships in BGC are closed, and we're about to head over to the walking street, or rather kind of like a main avenue where there's a bunch of shopping, and I just want to show you guys that. No, I'm not actually sick. I was just talking a lot and I need water, and I just cleared my throat. But when you cough here, everybody freaks out. So like, if you're at the grocery store and there are too many people in your aisle and they're not respecting their distance, all you gotta do is go and the entire aisle will vacate, and then you can shop in peace. Pro tip. Anyway, so we're about to pass by High Street, which is kind of like the main avenue. There's a bunch of restaurants and there's a bunch of open space, and I just want to show you guys, they've actually blocked it off, so you can't actually walk down Walking Street, which is kind of ironic, right? The other side though is kind of open, but they've kind of blocked off all of the places where you can chill and sit, because due to the social distancing laws, and they call it here enhanced community quarantine, EQT. Is that EQT? ECQ. They call it that, and because of that, you can't sit down and enjoy the lovely city, even if you're distancing yourself very, very far away from everyone else. But let us stop and smell the flowers and continue on this journey to see what the rest of the city looks like. just as a side note, it's actually super tranquil. And on any other normal day, it's actually difficult as a pedestrian to cross the street because being in BGC, there's a lot of people with trucks that think they own the road, and they actually usually have a security guard right over there who kind of somewhat does his job to stop cars. But yeah, kind of sad. Normally this place is teeming with people, and people like chilling with dogs and their families and going out to eat, obviously, especially on payday. And usually over here there are people trying to sell foreigners condominiums for investments, but obviously they're not working today. There's a bunch of shops, and these shops have actually been closed since March 16th, which kind of sucks because obviously if you need some vegan soap, you can't get any. If you need a overpriced backpack, you can't get any of that. And of course, if you want ice cream, you'll have to go to the grocery store, which we're going to do in a little bit, and actually check out how empty the grocery store is, or, you know, lingerie if that's your thing. Boys and girls here wear lingerie. As you know, it's Asia. But here is one of the restaurants that's actually open. So, Nanyang and Bread Talk, the bakery slash bubble tea joint, is still open with bread, but you have to wait in line. By the way, it's so hot right now. It's about 34 degrees Celsius. It's 93 degrees Fahrenheit for you American folks that don't use the metric system, and I would totally jump in that sprinkler. Marugame Udon is open for grab food, I believe, and they have this plastic thing set up along with all of the hand sanitizer in the world so you can keep clean. But yeah, literally everything is closed. This part of town almost reminds me of a theme park that's about to close, like at the end of the day, and the only people that are left are the people that are kind of just walking through the park to get to the exit. But yeah, it's quite tranquil actually. Good news is that we still have liquor during this time. A couple weeks ago they did like a one-day liquor ban, which didn't really last very long, thank God. Because how else are you going to get through this pandemic if you don't drink at 9 a.m. like, well, I mean, I do that, but I don't know if you guys do. So Market is actually a shopping mall, and it's kind of like an all-in-one thing here in BGC. It's basically an outdoor food court, an indoor food court, a bunch of restaurants, a grocery store, an event center, and yeah, everything that you could possibly need from a shopping mall, like a basic one, is here. And it also serves as a transit hub. So in our part of town, jeepneys can't actually go through the through streets of the city, so they can only stop here. So typically this tiny driveway that looks kind of big right now is teeming with people, jeeps, taxis, and also angkas riders and motorcycles, but there is none of that today. Again, the only vehicles that you see are kind of like special arrangement vehicles, like this one that's been contracted by Mercury Drug. This one is for a company called Alcitec, and a bunch of other ones. So these offices are actually located in BGC, and they shuffle their workers to and fro if need be. And of course that guy in the BMW, that's a private car, because that guy is rich and he has to flex. In terms of fast food, there's actually some fast food outlets that are open for takeout and for delivery. Again, they have limited hours, so they're only open till about 7 or so. But this Jollibee and that McDonald's are not open. But I think there are a couple in the city that actually are. That guy's obviously not social distancing. Is that a guy or a girl? Anyway, yeah, scooter riders are going to be annoying, lockdown or not. So because people here don't really like to follow the rules, they've actually measured out 1.5 meters and have taped it onto the ground. I think this line was either for the grocery store at one point in time, or perhaps just to indicate how far away people should stand from each other. Thanks. So once you finally pass a temperature check, sometimes you have to wait in line, just like today. So they have these very, very nice seats that you sit on. And we're gonna have a seat so we can wait in line to go grocery shopping and then wait in line to check out again and then walk home. So actually the line's kind of short today. You can see all the chairs over there. There are actually chairs that span like the entire floor and go to the other side of the department store. So the department store is actually not open, but it's the only way to access the grocery store, which is in the basement. So we're gonna sit here for a while. Shout out to my mom, by the way, who brought me a bunch of these N95 masks, and I thought I would never use them. And here we are. Thanks, Mom. Dude's pulling out a wedgie. Yep, he's really going for it. Still going for it. I wonder if he knows. That's okay. As long as he's social distancing, it's okay. He can pull out as many wedges as he wants. So all in all, the grocery store is pretty okay. When the quarantine started a couple weeks ago, I genuinely thought that none of this would exist. Lucky for us though, there's all the fruits and fresh veggies that you could possibly want. Ooh, bananas. I don't know if you can buy the whole bunch though. Sir, pwede ba ito bilhin yung kalahati lang? Or kailangan talaga yung buong ano? Pwede naman? Sige, thank you! Note, these are usually filled with rice. There's still a bunch of other rice there, but I guess you can't buy rice from these things. And lucky for us, there's still eggs. When the quarantine first started, eggs were kind of difficult. But as you can see from the chicken station, chicken's a hot commodity here, and it's kind of difficult to find chicken. There is enough seafood though. Don't know what those are. Wala na kayong chicken breast. Ito na lang. Yung dalawa na lang? So it's kind of the end of the day, and as I mentioned, chicken is getting sparse. But at least we have chicken breast. Sir, may plastic pa ba kayo? Aren't that many cuts of meat left, but of course, Filipino favorite, there's still plenty of pork belly. Ooh, that looks good. Ooh, tripe. There's definitely more of that. Ground round. Can't tell which looks good or which doesn't. Yeah, typically it's normally full, but as you can see today, wala eh. Sir, half kilo lang yung sirloin. Thank you. There's no shortage of cheese. Although I think a lot of this has been laying around for quite some time. Because it seems like there's not much local cheese, but the imported stuff is still very much around. I think I'll have to get some of this. Wonder how much this is. There's no price. And the Filipino favorite aisle, fully stocked. Canned tuna, corned beef, and Spam. And of course, there's no social distancing in this aisle. Should I do the cough thing and vacate the aisle? That's gonna find it back in the refrigerated section, and that's pretty scary. Only have this kind of bread. Not a fan. Ugh, darn. No good bread. Typically there's baguettes in there, but not today. There's a carrot that somebody abandoned. Guess we could get some of this. So even though this grocery store is missing some stuff, this is actually probably the largest and the best grocery store that you can go to here in BGC. The smaller grocery stores simply don't have a lot, and they've run out of things like flour and basic stuff. But as you guys can see from all the aisles here, basically anything you need, as long as you're not too picky, it's around. Let's go visit the foreign section. Plenty of mustard. As you can see, all the American stuff and the very expensive stuff doesn't really sell well. So if that's your vibe and you want to pay 1,300 pesos, that's almost 30 USD for pistachios, then go right ahead, because there's plenty of it. Ooh, soju. They ran out of this last week. $2. American friends that pay $8 for soju, take that L. Take the L. Desperate times call for desperate measures, my friends. Normally would never look at the Prego, but I don't really have a choice. Doesn't fit. Oh no, my eggs. In all seriousness though, there is more sauce variety here than the other grocery stores, like SM Grocery Store, the other competitor to this place, is kind of a joke. They don't have much. So it's nice to see that most of the shelves here are fully stocked with all kinds of stuff that I don't even know, because I can't read Japanese. Also, just a side note, here in the Philippines, things don't really go on sale per se, not like back home in America where, you know, drinks go on sale and, you know, the cold cuts go on sale. Here, there's never any sale, so that's always going to be the price. However, when things are close to their expiration date, the grocery store tapes stuff together and you end up getting a buy one, get one free deal. So I'm going to get some of this alcohol at a good price. Unrelated to coronavirus, but it's kind of interesting. Typically in America, they would lock down like the razors and all kinds of toiletries that are expensive, but here they lock down inshore and adult milk. As you know, this is very popular and a lot of people like to steal it. Fun fact. Contrary to popular opinion, I don't really like any of that stuff. So, oh, sorry. But yeah, this is the sauce, man. America. They also make one that's in a glass bottle that's made in, I think, Vietnam or Indonesia. It simply just doesn't taste as good as this one. And this one's good because you don't have to beat up the bottle to try to get the ketchup out. If you guys notice in the grocery store, the banana ketchup is actually right next to the tomato sauce. And some of my closest friends know that I'm scarred from my childhood when the 4-year-old Eric had to eat spaghetti, which is over there, with ketchup because my dad didn't know how to cook very well at the time. And that's how they did it in the Philippines. You just stick some banana ketchup with the spaghetti and there you go. You have spaghetti and you eat the lunch. So I realized that at the grocery store, I get the most human interaction that I typically get the entire day. And there's this really, really cute girl at the grocery store, but I couldn't tell if she was like that cute because her eyes were mesmerizing, but she obviously had a mask on. Comment below if you also check out people in the grocery store and wonder if they're good looking underneath the mask. But we all know personality counts, so it doesn't even matter if they're not that cute. It's all about what's inside. Hot dogs and processed meats are super popular in the Philippines, and there is no shortage of that. It doesn't even look like a real sausage. Nah. I do need some bacon though, and it doesn't seem like they have any good stuff. Ooh, I do need butter and cream cheese. Let's go get some of that. No, they don't have any cream cheese left. Damn it. Usually the cream cheese is here. I guess someone bought it all. Damn. Another unrelated quarantine fun fact. A lot of people don't follow this, or in the past they didn't follow this. So instead of, you know, people opening them up, they do what they call sample. So right there, it says sample. That way, you know exactly what you're getting before you even get it. How nice. Really, they're just doing it because they don't want people to open up the boxes. I think I need this one. Oh, looks like someone almost opened this one. So now that we've gotten what little groceries we need, or what we think we need, yeah, now it's time to wait in line. Usually during this time, I'm a little weird and I look at what other people are buying just to kind of see what they eat during quarantine and lockdown. But for me, just got the basics, man. Bread, some protein down there, chicken and ground beef, and yeah, just some random stuff. But here we go. We had to walk to the grocery store. We had to wait in line to get in. Tried to practice social distancing in these aisles, and now we have to wait in line once again. This lockdown is the best time to take your dog out for a walk or to go out for a run, because there's just barely any people. It's nice. This empty plot of land is basically a nice little park that you can stroll through. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that does it for this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys had a good time. And I hope that answers some of your questions on how life is like in Manila and Bonifacio Global City during this lockdown. As I mentioned, it's pretty chill, it's pretty desolate. There's kitties. But more importantly, if you guys like what you see, I just started a blog. It's called gowitherickgo.com. I'll put a link right below, and you can check out some of the stuff that I've been writing during this quarantine. So again, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one.